The commentator is saying there's an idiot on the pitch. We want to see the idiot.
Exactly.
We're seeing the idiot. Show the idiot. It's not going to encourage more people to do it, and if it does, good. It'll liven up. Aston Villa versus Middlesbrough. Who cares?
Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? And also talking about motorcycling, because I want to get more people onto motorbikes for a whole variety of reasons. I know they're all solid, and one of them is one of those reasons that nobody talks about. But everybody knows it's true. And what you can do on the internet is you can talk about the things that everybody knows about, but in traditional media, it's simply taboo. So, shall we kick off? How's the chat lines going? Anything going on?
It's going slowly. People are just saying that Riley's probably not listening because he's probably banging some alien chick at the moment.
Are Riley supposed to have had sex with aliens then? I did not catch that.
Didn't get the opportunity. There was a very long conversation actually a couple of weeks ago on Howard Stern with him about whether or not the Biavions had kind of anally probed him and done anything sexual, and he wasn't going to let on either way. So. Well.
We'll have him back.
Well, listen. We should mention the various, because hopefully there'll be other people who have discovered this community that exists at the moment. And if you'd like to get involved in this community, there's so many ways you can do it. 01243 55 60 60 is the traditional phone number.
There's somebody phoning in. This is what I like.
Outside.
I want to work with you.
It's Riley.
You are kidding me.
It's not Riley himself, obviously. It's great. Riley's come back for a second helping. Outside the UK is 0044 1243 55 60 60. Emails studio@playradiouk.com, because we're quite aware that not everyone's happy to Skype. So if you'd like to offer your viewpoint, whatever you'd like to, just chuck into the mixing bowl, studio@playradiouk.com. And the Skype is play.radio.uk. Is that right, technical guru?
I think it is, yeah.
And, well, we won't bother with texting. So, that's kind of where we're at, right?
Webcams?
Webcams. The webcams are on.
Tommy Boyd.
TommyBoyd.servebeer.com. And if you go to that, you can see exactly what's happening here in our studios. We've got an additional camera this week. So it's TommyBoyd.servebeer.com, and hopefully you'll feel more part of our community at the moment.
Excellent. Now, political correctness, which, when did it happen? When was the first time? I can remember the first time I saw the word AIDS written down, and I knew this was going to, it's going to snowball. You could just tell. I can't remember the first time I came across the phrase political correctness.
No. When did Labour get voted in?
Was it about them? Well, originally it was 1934, I think.
No, I mean recently. Okay, Tony Blair, let's be a bit more specific.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with Ramsay MacDonald.
Do you think it's a Blair thing?
No, I just think
because, I mean, if you go back to, the late 70s and early 80s, you had Mary Whitehouse. Now, was Mary Whitehouse part of the politically correct brigade, or was she just part of a different kind of...
Well, there's probably
censorship brigade.
There's probably always been PC people, but she wasn't.
I didn't mind Mary. I know this is radical, but I didn't mind Mary Whitehouse all that much, because she provoked debate. She was relentless, and I think all she really cared about was that children were taught about sex properly, and she was worried about children finding out about sex on the
I used to work for telly. I used to work with her son.
Did you?
My boss, yeah.
Okay.
And he was just as bad as she is.
Well, we'll come back to that.
I think political correctness started probably in the Daily Mail.
Okay.
And I suspect it was a phrase coined by the Daily Mail editor. Let me think. Where are we now? I think probably 93,
about
95.
What I've done is because I have a theory about political correctness and the fact that it makes some jokes funnier because you're not supposed to tell them.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays into the hands of playground humour and comics like the late Bernard Manning and Jim Davidson. But what I've done, if you'll help me, guys, and if you're at your PC, it would be useful if you could play this as well. All you'll need is a piece of paper, number it 1 to 10 down the left, and then you're going to have 2 marks out of 10 for funniness and then for political incorrectness. So if you think a joke is very funny but not absolutely the funniest joke you've ever heard, it gets 8 in funny, say.
Yeah.
If it is not particularly politically incorrect, then you give it a 3 in that column, all right? If it is so politically incorrect that you don't want to hear it again ever, then it gets a 10.
Okay.
Right. And if it's not very funny, it gets a 2.
I'll count votes in the
In the chat rooms, yeah. Hello, everybody in the chat rooms. If you want to have a go at this, all right, 10 jokes, very quick ones. They're not long jokes. Okay, here comes the first one, all right, and it's Laura, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Stuart and Duncan are going to do it here. Okay, so the first joke. What do we call this one?
Mexican clip.
Mexican clip. Okay. All right. I don't understand it, but in America, Mexicans are the subject of an awful lot of. Well, I do understand it. Are the subject of a lot of jokes. So here goes the joke. Juan Carlos and Antonio all jump off a cliff to see who hits the ground first. Who wins? Society. Now that I told it, I gave it my full. I don't agree with it, but I gave it my full performance level. So make your marks for funny out of 10 and then politically incorrect. Okay.
I can't wait for number 4.
Out of 10.
Yeah, I'm looking for number 4.
Okay.
And I think the slugged nun joke is going to be good. Right.
Joke number 2. Do you want something to rest on, Laura?
There's anybody in the I think there's a couple of people trying to get in on the chat line still trying to anybody want to make a mark on that? There's loads of people talking about something else, so
that's what happens on chat rooms, and I like that.
It's good.
You're doing a show. You're doing an effort, and people are talking about something else.
Attempt.
Fine. Joke number 2, and this is the Bill Clinton joke, okay? And this was on the Jay Leno show, so it's networked across America. So this, that might influence your judgment on how politically incorrect it is. Okay, but whatever. In California, 50 women protested the war with Iraq by lying on the ground naked and spelling out the word peace. Right idea, wrong president. It's a Clinton joke. Not a very funny one, obviously. Okay, that's joke number 2 then.
Was that the actual joke? Sorry.
That is the joke. That is the joke. That is the joke. In California, Jay Leno and Letterman, and it was Johnny Carson who invented it, start their show with a monologue.
That's
a political monologue. Yeah. And apparently for the last 6 years, they've all been Bill Clinton jokes. All right? So the first one with them was about a Mexican, or Mexicans in general. The second one was about Bill Clinton. Joke number 3, what have I called this?
Tit joke.
Okay. A man walks into a bar with his arm in a plaster cast. What happened to you, says the bartender. I got in a fight with Kelly. Kelly? He's only a small guy. He must have had something in his hand. He did. A shovel. Didn't you have anything in your hand? I did. Mrs. Kelly's tit. And a beautiful thing it is too, but not much use in a fight. Okay, it's got a bad word in it, but not a terribly bad word. And the use of the name Kelly suggests that it is vaguely an Irish joke. Okay, so funniness out of, what did we say, 10?
10.
And then politically incorrect.
Out of 10.
Right. Okay. Are you, by the way, Stuart and Duncan, as people can see if they go to the webcams, you're sitting next to each other. You're not cheating.
No.
You checking each other's answers?
No, it's stuff's over there.
Mine's right away over here.
Okay. All right, number 4, the nun joke, which Duncan has already expressed an early interest in.
Yeah, I'm putting down a marker here.
What do you get when you cross an apple and a nun? Why is that funny already?
Breathe!
What do you get if you cross an apple and a nun? Right? A computer that won't go down. I guess that gets a 10, yeah? Okay.
You can't go wrong with nun joke.
Is that... All right. We'll come back to that one then. We'll come back to that. So marks out of 10 for funniness and marks out of 10 for political incorrectness of the nun joke.
Joke number 5 is the Mexican recipe.
Yeah, I'm coming back to Mexican ones because they do seem to be stock in trade in the United States but never get told in the mainstream media. Whereas, well, I'm beginning to betray my point. But anyway, here it goes. Number 5. What are the first 3 words in every Mexican cookbook? Number 1, steal a chicken. You do it with an accent.